the Podcast, Season 3. I'm your host, Hassan, and today we have confidence coach, Lisa Montana. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What you do for a living is interesting to me, based on making sure, or at least my understanding of this is making sure that individuals know their power mentally, which could extend physically, but also just instilling that reminder of self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. And I thought that was very interesting. So therefore, I wanted to have the conversation with you. Could you give me a little bit more about yourself?
So yeah, my name is Lisa Montana, and I started working as a confidence coach like a few months ago when I just felt the need to do something that I'm passionate about, because I've been lacking confidence for so long. And I just feel when you have confidence and when you have self-esteem, when you know your worth and you know that you're amazing, you just make different decisions, you do different things in life, and you just like feel better about yourself. You're just like overall more happy. So yeah.
Great. So what piqued my interest about this is that clearly mental health is a real situation, and how we're dealing with that in the current status of the pandemic is very interesting. Now, we are having an international conversation as you're in Germany right now, and I'm in the United States. So why that conversation wanted to be had, at least by me, is because I'm curious as to what is happening in Germany based on what the pandemic did, because we locked down, but not everywhere in the United States locked down, which did take a toll on our mental health. It changed our way of life. It definitely made us try to rearrange how life was, and it did affect people's confidence and faith, especially in their work and in their normal daily activities. But how was it for you in Germany during the last year and a half?
So we had different phases. We went from lockdown to different rules to opening up again, shutting down now again. So it's just been like a roller coaster. And I think a lot of people have realized that they can work from home, and I think a lot of people like try to see the positive, but obviously it is weighing down on all of us. So I think, the more we work on our mental health, the better it is, because this is a very special time and we don't know when it's over.
Sure.
So just keeping like the positive mind is very important during this time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the formal name of your business?
It's just Lisa Montana Coaching.
Okay.
Because I just like to keep it simple, and it's just my name.
All right, well, that's branding. I mean, that works.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. And so in your words, what is a confidence coach?
So for me, a confidence coach is somebody who helps other people building up, obviously, their confidence, their self-esteem, their self-worth, but also helping them getting rid of limiting beliefs, just getting unstuck, whatever the problem is that they're facing at the moment, and just like lovingly pushing them out of their comfort zone so they know that they can achieve something. And like, I think you just build confidence through moving forward, through taking action and like making the move. So a coach like definitely also helps with that, and especially in confidence coaching, just guiding them towards their confident self and seeing themselves for what they are.
You said that you started this a few months ago, but previously, what was your work? Was it related?
No, it wasn't related. I was looking like when I was 18, I joined the military, and then I went traveling when I was 19. And there were so many different things, but from my life experience, I just felt like there was something that I want to do that just, lights me up in the morning, that I just can be my own boss and like helping people, because in like the 9-to-5 job was never my thing, and I would never be happy because I could never truly express myself and create something just like out of my own mind and out of my own experience. So that was very important for me to do that. I'm still learning a lot, but now I'm just creating my online platform just to help my clients, for example, like watch videos before we have our one-on-one calls. So like the calls are just more in depth with the coaching. I'm just like building everything up at the moment, but it's super exciting. So there are like certification processes, and there are different licenses for like life coaching. I do, however, not have a license yet, because I will be starting my bachelor's in life coaching in March. I'm just like teaching from my own experience, and I think all the things that I like already went through already like helpful enough for people who are there now. And yeah, I'm just leading like from one step before them.
So how do you offer your services? How can someone get in contact with you?
So I believe like coaching is not a quick fix. You know, I would do like quick sessions as well, but that's more for people who just want to get unstuck with like one particular thing. But I do 10 weeks transformational coaching where we have like 60 minutes one-on-one for 10 weeks over like a longer period of time. So we can literally go through all different topics and dive deep. So at the end, you know, the client is just a very different person and just full of self-love and confidence. So yeah, that's what I do the most, my 10 weeks program.
10-week program. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm assuming that's at a nominal rate, or is it adjusted based on client?
Yeah, like there's like a fixed price point because it's 10 weeks. I have like different offers. It's just like an investment in yourself. And I think it really pays off long term.
So confidence coaching, it's not new to me, actually. I've been involved with individuals as far as mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
and officially and unofficially. So I do understand the platform. And then also I have friends and associates in the mental health industry. I understand the flow of how a continued, we'll call it a relationship, but under the understanding of communication, how a continued communication relationship would be with a coach, a life sponsor, someone to hold you accountable over a continued period of time, because sometimes we do need that. And I really appreciate the fact that you've decided to step out of your own comfort zone to give people that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this a large industry for you overseas? Because now with the internet, you can be anywhere. You can have any client that you wish anywhere in the world. But
Mm-hmm.
is this a large industry for you where you are regionally?
It's not as big as it is in the United States, or just, you know, if I look at it internationally, Germany is growing as well, like the self-education industry. But I think there's still like people are opening up to, you know, like the concept of educating yourself online or getting a coach and those kind of things. But
Sure.
I think that America is like still a step ahead of us. So it's not as common as it is in the United States.
I had a very limited experience in Germany. I was there. I was in Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
Alexanderplatz, and I also was in Kaiserslautern. So it was nice. Oh, Frankfurt as well. Yeah, it's very nice, but socially very different. As far as how the individuals, a lot of internalization. So do you think that that's something that, in terms of your current network that you're building, are your clients local, or are they kind of spread out everywhere right now?
They're not as local because I'm always like I'm based in Germany. I'm German, but I do like offer my services in German and English, but I'm marketing myself more in English because I think that, as I said, you know, in America there's just so much more going on. People are more open-minded, so that's where I'm like targeting more. So yeah, it's more internationally than local for sure.
With your business platform, what do you give as far as tips, or what could you give someone now listening for the start of their daily affirmation?
hmm So, what I think is most important before we start creating an affirmation is kind of figuring out where we are right now and what are we thinking at the moment. So, it's like a very simple exercise. We just get pen and paper and just write down, just like start to free flow and write down life is, I am, and the world is. And we just like, we just like write all things down that come to mind. For example, I am insecure, the world is unfair, all those like negative things that we then see what we have. So we identified our beliefs. So like writing everything like down, and then we can create new beliefs. So what is serving us from those beliefs and what is not serving us? And once we know that, for example, we think that, you know, I'm insecure or I'm unworthy or like whatever comes to the surface, we can target those things and switch them into the positive belief. So, for example, if you think if like that comes up for me that I'm unworthy, I'm going to create a belief that is always have to write it down positive and in the present. So, if I want to switch the belief from I'm unworthy, I'm going to say I am worthy and I am strong, I'm independent, whatever it is that really is really stuck with me in a negative way. I'm going to switch it into positive belief. And for affirmations, it's really important to, yeah, like to really affirm them to you, like like a few times a day, or especially like mornings and evenings, and really absorb it so it like can enter your subconscious mind and change the way you see yourself.
The buildup of the person tends to depend on what it is they've gone through, and you meeting them where they are
Mm-hmm.
initially, which I respect that. It's been a long journey in me understanding my coaching and mentorship. I by no means consider myself able to offer services, so to speak, but I do offer a bit of coaching and help along the way, depending on what type of category we're dealing with. Mental health, not so much. Sports psychology, yes. Again, the nature of your business and how you set up your business platform, it makes a lot of sense. I'm actually pleased to know that you would offer this internationally, and it's bilingual, because you're dealing with that in both Deutsch as well as English. Um,
Yeah.
in terms of your future planning
Mm-hmm.
for the business, where do you see your business going in the next 2 years?
So I see my business just growing with one-on-one clients and eventually creating a group program, because I love the group dynamics of programs. And especially when women go through the same things at the same time, they can just build this momentum and build a sisterhood. And especially like I'm targeting women, especially because I think, if women come together, like very powerful things can happen. And yeah, so that's like my goal. I want to create a group program, and eventually also create a self-paced program for people who don't want one-on-one support. Then they can just go through the program by themselves and work through their own issues and shadows, and just like discover all those like goodness that's inside of them. So that's also my plan within the next 2 years.
I didn't ask that, and I'm glad you said it. So this is woman centric.
Yeah, so I also like I would do I would, if there was a question, I also would coach men, but my approach is just more for women.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it's just because I'm a woman and because I've gone through my own experience, that's what I'm most familiar with. And that's also my approach, is just like it just put more like feminine. So I don't exclude anybody from my coaching services, but I think it's most suitable for women.
Okay. Well, can you let the audience know how you can be reached and how you can be booked?
So you can always reach me through Instagram. My name is I am Lisa Montana, and Facebook also Lisa Montana. And yeah, you can also find me, or you can also send me an email, which is coaching@lisa-montana.com. And yeah, I'd love to just get to know you all and get in touch with you. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'd love to answer them. Have you ever do you use affirmations yourself, or did you just come across them?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. For me, I do look at affirmations now. I don't believe that I look at them in the sense of need. It was more of interest. I've been pretty self-reliant, very self-motivated, self-driven for a while. Now, we all have our low points, of course. I mean, life happens and there's things that we go through. Um, but I took a while, and I also did a couple of rounds of therapy in different periods of my life, right? Um, and that also allowed me to kind of see where my outlets were, and for me to understand where I could focus my energies and not be destructive, but constructive.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that for so long that it's just pretty much been lifestyle for me.
Mm.
So it's not necessarily where I would look at or constitute daily affirmation for the sake of need. I like reading them. I like reading them. I like writing them. And they give me a good sense of feeling when I'm listening to any of that. And I read a lot of books and I listen to a lot of audiobooks. All of that is about my mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my normal approach to life, my routine, so to speak, I try to keep that pretty positive. But I've been doing this for so long that utilizing a daily affirmation for me is kind of second nature, but I don't
Mm.
have a go-to for it. I just know
Mm.
that I'm doing it.
There's one more thing I want to say about affirmations,
Sure.
because affirmations are great, and I think they're good way to work, or like to support the healing, and like to support the new identity and stuff with the new beliefs. But it's not the solution for, if you have like negative beliefs about yourself, we have to like first look at the beliefs and like crush them and then create new ones.
Mm.
So affirmations are awesome, but affirmations just by itself is not the solution, and we have to dig a bit deeper than that. So for everybody who thinks like, yeah, affirmations, is the solution, they're awesome and they should be implemented, but affirmations by itself, they won't, change your whole life and make you confident and crazy. Like there has to be like a bit more in depth. Just to give like a little bit more of like of a picture of myself and how I started. I said that I was in the army, but that doesn't really tell much about myself. I was like, when I grew up, I just felt like, the whole like family construct was working, not against me, but like I just felt like there was lots of limiting beliefs that were ingrained into myself when I was like younger. And it wasn't because anybody would like to harm me. It was just subconsciously, things that people say, things that like family said. And I just like grew up believing that I'm not good enough, that everybody else that I get compared to was better than me. So I had those limiting beliefs very strongly in myself. And I never thought that I could achieve anything. I never thought that I could go to university and study. I never thought that I'm gonna have like an awesome husband or like great relationship. I just didn't think that those things were for me. So if you feel like, you're left out or everybody else around you is supposed to be happy, but something is wrong with you, then that's what I want to address, because it's not true. And like, we can all be happy and confident and like free. And what helped me personally was like something that happened in my family situation, that when my mother passed away when I was 20 years old, she had cancer, everything changed for me, because I was not only traveling and came back and then travel again, but I was just completely by myself. And that really helped me to focus on myself and like realizing that, okay, it's me now, I'm responsible for myself and there's nobody else to blame. And just taking back this, like charge of my life basically. And not blaming anybody else for what happened in the past, because a lot of things happened in the past, but it's about now, and it's about creating the future from now, and it's about forgiving. And there are so many things, it's just like huge. But I just want to say that if you have any feelings of like being inferior to others, or that you are supposed to be the shy, insecure person, you're not. Like if you want to change that, you can, and you can decide and you can choose.
I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, as a coach, an understanding of how you kind of came to be this way, or your superhero backstory, that's important, and I think that's very relatable.
So what I really want like for people to realize is, doesn't matter how your past looked like, or what you have experienced, if it was trauma, if it was abuse or anything else, that you do have a choice, what I've said before, and that it's very important to realize that you can choose and that you can decide. And there is nothing more powerful than the power of choice, and realizing that if you want to be different, you can, and you can just like, you can change your whole life if you want to decide today. And I think that's the most amazing gift you can give yourself, that if you want to be different, and if you want to be, whatever you want to be, like if you want to be happy and confident and just like full of love, then you can choose to be that.
I think that's beautiful. The power of choice,
Yes.
which is helpful. You can get this in a lot of different mantras. You could go on Instagram and find a lot of memes to justify what it is you're feeling. However, I don't think that that is the be all end all. I think that that's a very easy, quick fix and justification, but I don't think that it addresses any main issues. And I don't believe that that gets to the crux of what the situation may be. So again, I appreciated the conversation, and I wanted to introduce you at least to the audience formally, so that they can know that there's a service that's offered that they could possibly benefit from. And don't be afraid to take the jump. Speak with someone, get these thoughts out so that you can understand where you are, and hopefully get the assistance that you feel you deserve. Well, this has been Qualified, the podcast. Again, I'm your host, Hassan. This is Lisa Montana. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you can search us under QLAFD, Qualified, the podcast.